The Last of Us Part 2. I knew one day I would have to get to this game. I was in the eye of the crap storm when this released, in which I not only had a very important scene spoiled for me, but I also had most of the game spoiled for me, including the ending. The discourse surrounding this sequel was inescapable, even as someone who was minding his own business over here on the sidelines, just waiting for Ghost of Tsushima to come out a month later. Between now and then, I have become a big fan of the Last of Us series, and the time was right to finally delve into the sequel when they announced a remastered version is coming. I'll save my thoughts on the story for later, but as your resident trophy man here, I have a duty to relay your information on time in a timely fashion. My trophy thoughts. Behold, I think this trophy run is just okay, generally, but if you're someone who didn't like The Last of Us Remastered's trophy run, it's a big win. If you prefer the Lu 1 Remake's trophy run, you will like this as well. But again, there's that polarizing stink around this game that just looms around you, and maybe we should just get into the episode proper so I can put this debate to rest. This is Platinum Hunters, the show where we take a look at everything it takes to get the Platinum Trophy and whether it's worth the effort to achieve it. We've got both those games I mentioned already, The Last of Us Remastered, the harder version, The Last of Us Remake, the easier version. Both of these are on the channel, so if you want to go seamlessly into this one, starting from that perspective, go check it out, go get the plats. And subscribe for more trophy guide videos just like this one, because we might just find your next Platinum Trophy. One look at the trophy list shows you how lean and fit this list is, which is something that has been consistent through all of the Last of Us Platinum runs. In comparison to something like Uncharted 4, which also comes from Naughty Dog, that game had a ton of trophies. This one does not. It has like half that amount. However, this one also decided to drop all the difficulty trophies from the first game, which dramatically dropped how tough it will be to get this plat. Otherwise, you still have a ton of collectible trophies and upgrade trophies to get, with a few environmental trophies sprinkled in. You have Chapter Select and New Game Plus to help you grab anything you miss, so what you have is a trophy run that is not going to get in your way like The Last of Us Remastered did. And no factions mode. I hear your collective sighs of relief. So let's see what's in store for us, and note that I have more helpful guides in the description below to help you if you need it. Starting this trophy run, there is only one story trophy in the list, and it's called What I Had to Do. It's unmissable, and it's for completing part 2 of the story, which, if you've been living under a rock and didn't know, is pretty damn polarizing. For a long time, I had been hearing the flurry of wild opinions about the tale, and admittedly, I had formed a second-hand opinion about it. Now that I have my own experience about it, I fucking loved it. Do I think it's better than the first? No, but this story, in my opinion, is still a masterpiece. I even liked Abby and her character arc as well. What a phenomenal, high production, high quality piece of media. You can play through the story on any difficulty you like for the plat, and the suite of accessibility options at your fingertips is just staggering. There are no restrictions on the combination you concoct too, so you can choose how difficult you want to make the experience. I put 2 playthroughs in the Platinum spec sheet, but it's not for difficulty trophy reasons. We will explain why you need 2 playthroughs shortly when we talk about upgrades, but it has to do with the game not giving you enough of that. But speaking of resources, there is the Tools of the Trade trophy for crafting every item using those said resources. These items are things you can make in your touchpad menu, like your health packs, pistol silencer, Molotov cocktails, and all the other goodies you can find in there. You won't be able to craft them all until much later in the game, and there are exclusive craft items for Ellie and for Abby. So eventually you will get this trophy naturally, but you will have to be patient. This is a sentiment that extends to all the most important trophies in this run. You'll see that you'll start popping a ton of trophies towards the end of your experience. While cruising through Seattle or wherever you end up, the lion's share of the trophies in this run are dedicated to finding things and upgrading things. I'm going to introduce them one by one, but keep in mind that there are a total of 266 collectibles to find. That is freaking nuts, and somehow not the most we've covered on the channel. There is chapter select available to go find the ones you missed, but you will need a good collectible guide to reference while you play. It just so happens that I have one in the description below, and it's a goodie that got me everything I needed. But let's pop our first set of trophies on screen now for our player upgrades, which will do things like increasing your special ammo capacity, effectiveness of health packs, enhance your listening mode capabilities, and other stuff like that. You have a trophy for your first upgrade, 25 upgrades, 1 trophy for unlocking all 5 in a single category, and of course, all 50 player upgrades, all of them. Remember that it's not just Ellie that you have to upgrade, so between our 2 playable characters, there are a total of 50 player upgrades in total. You need
pills here
to unlock the upgrades, and the grand total you need for everything is 1900
pills.
Without the training manuals, getting all the player upgrades is going to be impossible. So here's the first collectible we are introducing, and you'll need to find all 8 of them for not only this reason, but to get the Journeyman trophy. Each training manual you find will unlock a new set of 5 upgrades, so you could be
grabbing pills
all you want, but you'll have nothing to spend them on if you don't find these. That's why it's important to start collecting right away. Don't wait. Normally I'll say you can do your collectibles on a separate play if you want, but for this game it's a different story. Similar to the player upgrades, we have trophies on screen now for upgrading your weapons. 1 for your very first weapon upgrade, 1 for fully upgrading a single weapon, and then of course 1 for upgrading all weapons. Ellie and Abby again have their own exclusive weapon sets to upgrade, with Ellie having 5 weapons with 18 upgrades, and Abby having also 5 weapons with 17 upgrades. To upgrade everything, it's going to cost you a total of 1920 parts, and they are found the same way you find
pills here.
For both of these resources, I played through the whole story being very, very diligent with scavenging resources, opening drawers, opening everything that had a triangle prompt on it. And I only had enough for about half of these player and gun upgrades. The game is incredibly stingy about giving out these particular items, and I practically had to do an entire second playthrough of the game to collect the rest I needed for each character's remaining upgrades. Seriously, I got my last upgrade trophy in the Santa Barbara section, which is right in the last handful of hours of the story. So expect almost 2 playthroughs no matter what. On the bright side, a second playthrough is advantageous if you're planning to get the trophies in the grounded mode trophy set. We'll talk about that later on. And that second playthrough can also be fun, as you'll be able to use game modifiers now like one-hit kills, unlimited ammo, limited resources, and other fun stuff like that. I'm trying to make lemonade here. Now, you can't upgrade weapons that you don't have, so make sure you get the high caliber trophy for finding all weapons in the game. There are a total of 12 weapons in the game, with 10 of them being upgradable. Abby's flamethrower and Ellie's silenced submachine gun are the 2 non-upgradable weapons, but you still need them for the high caliber trophy. Some weapons have multiple places where you can find them, but check the guide if you are missing any. Unfortunately, you won't get your last weapon until you reach the same Santa Barbara chapter I mentioned, but that weapon is one of the non-upgradable weapons anyways. Unlike the player upgrades where you can just hit the touchpad and upgrade them from the menu, the weapon upgrades can only be done when you find a workbench. There are many of them, so don't fret, but this often safe place of refuge is where you can make your weapons better, and we have 2 trophies to collect while you find them all. You got a trophy for finding 12 workbenches, and another trophy for finding all 25 of them throughout the game. 14 are found as Ellie, so in the Ellie chapters, and 11 of them are found with Abby. You cherish finding these, provided you have the parts to make the upgrades happen. But otherwise, they're another collectible and just add them to the pile. Speaking of the pile, a big majority of that 266 count is made up of lore-related collectibles. So let's get a little deeper into the weeds and start with the Archivist Trophy, which tasks you with finding all the artifacts and journal entries. Artifacts come in the form of notes and pieces of paper, with the occasional one being some sort of object, but these are notes that people left for other people, sets of instructions, pamphlets from a time before the outbreak, and other stuff like that. Coupled in with them are Ellie's journal entries, which she will pencil in when it's something interesting like a mountain view, a mural, a sign, or something related to the plot. Again, both of these types are numerous, and it's best to have a good collectible guide for all of these. 2 of the artifacts are going to be very special items that, if you're familiar with Naughty Dog's legacy, you will be very happy. Inside a safety deposit box in a random bank in Seattle, you can find an engraved ring and get you the So Great and Small trophy simultaneously. This is no ordinary ring though, it is certainly the one Nathan Drake carries with him. The location is this Meridian Bank in the downtown chapter of Seattle Day 1 with Ellie. You'll actually need to get into the bank vault in order to access this safety deposit box, so make sure you find the artifact with the code on it, or just take a look at the screen and get the code there. I'm helping! The other special artifact is the Strange Relic, which is a precursor orb from Jak and Daxter. You'll get the Relic of the Sages trophy when you find it as Abby in the Hostile Territory chapter of Seattle Day 1. It's harder to describe its location, but it's upstairs in a store called Ruby Dragon. You'll get to the Chinatown part of the level and you'll see the red colored store. Just grab it and get this trophy. Aside from the artifacts and the journal entries, Ellie has an exclusive collectible she is searching for, and they are the Society of Champions trading cards. I've popped the trophies up on the screen, but these are cool because they're like in-universe Marvel or DC cast of heroes and villains. These are cool indeed. There's even a Dr. Uckman card, which is just Neil Druckmann himself. There are a total of 48 of them to find while you pilot through Ellie's parts of the story. Now Abby has her own exclusive collectible she is looking for. These are less cool, but who am I to be so judgmental of people's hobbies anyways? On screen now are the trophies you'll get for finding the coins in the game. There are 32 coins to find in Abby's sections, so be on the lookout for these as well. Some of these artifacts, trading cards, coins, and even the training manuals are going to be locked inside of safes. We definitely got to crack these open then, but also for the Safecracker trophy too. You have a total of 14 safes in total, and the combinations for them are usually found on artifacts in the vicinity of the safe's location. Of course, if someone tells you the combo, then you could just open them no problem. They don't change or they're not randomized, so collectible guides will usually just help you there if you don't want to solve it yourself. But getting these things open is very necessary as a step to getting all the collectibles. There is one more trophy related to collectibles, but if you're following a collectible guide, you're definitely going to get this trophy anyways. While you're looking for collectibles in the downtown Seattle area, you can get the Sightseer trophy if you visit all of these locations listed on screen now. I really liked this section, especially since it's opened up and you can just go explore the different areas in any order that you like. None of this is groundbreaking when you think about it, but considering the very linear nature of the Last of Us games, it kinda is. I hope we get more future games in the series that do more of this, as it was a good idea to change up the flow of the game. But visit all locations for this trophy, and that will end all of the collectible talk. You are now ready for the grand hunt. You're prepped and primed. Let's go. We are running out of trophies to talk about in this short list, but before we cover our last 3, take a second to hit the like button if you're enjoying the content. Also, let me know what your experience with the game is, because I was there to see the reception to it. I'm sure you were too. It was polarizing, and I'd love to hear how you felt about it. Okay, all we have left to cover in this trophy run are 3 environmental trophies, and thankfully they are not too spoilery, but I always like to give you the heads up. Let's start with one that happens in a flashback, which this game has no shortage of. We can get the Looks Good on You trophy at the very end of Seattle Day 1 in the birthday gift section by placing a hat on Joel's head. Now it sounds easy, but of course this game makes it difficult. Right when you enter the museum, you have to grab the brown hat sitting on the rack to your right. Then you have to bring it all the way to the Brachiosaurus head hovering above the glass railing. Then go back down the stairs to where the Stegosaurus is located, grab the black hat on the bench and place it on the Stegosaurus' head. Dashing look, I must say. But I think it looks better on another dino. Grab the hat again off Steggy Boy and place it on the head of Joel to pop the trophy. Placing the hats a couple times in a couple different spots is the only way to get Joel to want to wear one himself. I guess he got jealous. Then we will jump to the beginning of Seattle Day 1, but this time with Abby, and in the very first section called the Stadium. Now let's try and get the Sharpshooter trophy by beating Manny in the marksman competition. It's you, your rifle, and a set amount of bullets. You have to hit the target and you score points based on where you hit it. So you definitely want to focus on accuracy over speed here, because Manny came to play and he's gonna post a cool 90 points. You need to be gunning for bigger points. If you lose, well, that sucks. You're gonna have to start the chapter all over again, because if you restart the checkpoint, it's just gonna restart you at the moment where you hit failure. That sucks. Finally, we have some more shooting with Abby when you meet Owen at the aquarium, also on Seattle Day 1 in the Winter Visit chapter. Our final trophy to cover is Put My Name Up, where you have to earn the high score in the archery game. Up on the leaderboard, you have Owen's name with a score of 9 and Mel's with a score of 10. You're trying to show up Owen, so you just need 10. For this one, I do recommend speed, as you can run out of time fast. Remember when aiming with the bow to aim above the target so that the arrow will arc down and hit it. Be quick and get the high score to bring our part 2 trophy hunting quest of revenge to a close. And that's every last one of them for this trophy guide. Man, what a ride of a game. I know everyone doesn't feel the same way as I do about the game, but I really feel so strongly about the series now, which was something I thought would never happen. But anyways, if you've collected a whole bunch of collectibles, like holy crap, ton of collectibles, fully explored a decrepit version of Seattle, played as 2 polarizing protagonists at each other's throats, and collected all the trophies, congratulations! You will be awarded the every last one of them Platinum Trophy for The Last of Us Part 2. A little bit after launch, the game got a free update and it added the Grounded Mode trophy set to the game. Grounded Mode. Everyone's favorite. This new trophy set added 2 trophies. The first one is called dig 2 graves for completing the game on grounded mode. I haven't tried this game on that difficulty yet, but if it's anything like grounded mode in the first game, it's going to be a pain in the ass. A few shots leave you in the red, resources are going to be very sparse, including ammo, crafting materials, and healing items, and bosses are going to make you shit your pants. The second trophy is called You Can't Stop This, and now you'll have to complete the game with a permadeath setting on. Now this is deceiving because there are actually 3 different types of permadeath settings. There is per game, where you have to beat the whole thing in one go, no dying. You have per act, which will be like Seattle 1 needs to be completed without dying, Seattle 2, Seattle 3, and you'll go back to the beginning of those acts, or you can do it per chapter, which is a lot easier. All of these 3 will work for unlocking the trophy, so the per chapter is a lot less consequential should you decide to choose that one. Now I'm taking a gamble here, putting this trophy guide out early, because the remastered version of the game hasn't released yet. It might have more add-on trophy sets for the brand new content like the lost levels and the new roguelike survival mode. I'm making this episode ahead of time, so it's possible that those trophies get rolled into the platinum experience, which would mean I'd have to make a brand new video, or there's no trophies at all. I don't know yet, I'm not a mind reader. So check the description below to see what's going on, and I'll update it with all the new info you need to know when that drops. Overall, mileage is going to vary on this trophy run depending on if you want to find all of these collectibles, if you want to focus on 2 playthroughs of the game instead of 1, and even if you like the story at all. I can't believe I'm saying that considering how high quality the game is, but I still can't understand the reaction back in 2020 and get it out of my head. If you are a dedicated trophy hunter that's gonna go for it no matter what, then there's no issue at all. You probably played something similar to this before, maybe even Last of Us Part 1, whether it's the PS3, PS4, or PS5 version of the game. For me though, I had a great time getting this plat, but biases aside, I know the feeling is different from person to person. That's why I think the plat is only 4% rarity, as opposed to the insane plat rates of other PS Studios games like Spider-Man. But if you love it, you love it, and the remastered version for PS5 is another chance to enjoy it all over again. My love for this series is at an all-time high, and more than ever, I'm personally hoping they are making another Last of Us game. Give me part 3. Please. That's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I know this is a little bit before the remastered release as of recording this. I'm hoping that they don't dramatically change the platinum run, or else I guess I'm just gonna have to make another video for it. Otherwise, use this guide for the PS4 version, or hopefully you can use it for the PS5 version and get her done. Let me know down in the comments section any and all thoughts related to this game, around the conflict that happened around it, around the game itself. Any and all thoughts I'd love to hear. I'm always in the comments section. I hope all your trophy hunting expeditions go incredibly well, and peace out.